Welcome to another gameplay. Today we are playing Sliver Hive, the 3-color Sliver deck. Let's see what we can do. This is a mulligan. Not an ideal hand, but we're on the draw, so I'm willing to try it out. Probably gonna grab a red source with the expanse. Path to Exile being very good against a Gravecrawler, but you usually don't want to give your opponent free land this early in the game. We could have waited and see if we drew a red or white source, but I feel like our opponent is putting too much pressure on us from the start, so we cannot really afford to just sit around and wait. So hopefully we draw a land next turn. Vial of Poison not being a very good card. This activates for 1. No blocks. So I'd like to go Blur Sliver into Hive Stirrings, but we'll need a white mana for that. Our opponent possibly could have a Doomblade here. There it is. So removing our 2-drop. I think it's the right decision to kill the 2-drop because it gives the most power and toughness overall, but the haste is actually pretty nice too. It might not be incredible in this board state, but generally the haste allows for pretty explosive starts. Our opponent could have another Doomblade here. Let's find out. So unfortunately we don't have any place, but we do have the shock. So hopefully our opponent doesn't have another zombie here, even though that's pretty doubtful. That's a problem. I'm not gonna use a shock because we'll probably have to block this and use a shock on it. Hey, we drew the planes. So we have a decision we can make. We can play Hive Stirrings, send in tokens. But that does represent us having a shock. We could just send in the 2/2. I think if we attack, we have to attack with the team, otherwise it's just too suspicious. But I doubt our opponent is gonna block. And I don't want him to hit us with the Reaver, because that's just asking for trouble. So I'm just gonna play Hive Stirrings and pass. We're giving up on a couple damage, but at least we can be pretty sure we'll be able to kill their Reaver. I don't mind seeing that. We could have shocked the Gravecrawler end of turn, but I feel like we're gonna probably use it now. We could also use a Path to Exile. That does mean giving our opponent an extra land, and it might... He didn't play anything for a couple of turns, so he might have a couple of expensive cards in hand. But I'm probably gonna end up exiling it. Let's attack and use this Path to Exile before blocks. And dealing 4 damage to our opponent. And I'm gonna grab a Plains with this Terramorphic Expanse. Leaving up a Shock. Our opponent doesn't get any zombie tokens. Alright, that's acceptable. This isn't, so let's shock this right away. So we are trying to prevent our opponent from activating the Endless Ranks, and we're doing a pretty job so far. Now we can cast either Thorncaster Sliver or Megantic Sliver. And let's do the math real quick. I think this Megantic is lethal. Yes, it is. So that makes our choice a lot easier. And there we go. We managed to win against Deadwalkers. So I want to thank you for watching and have a nice day.